Good afternoon, everyone, especially to Ma'am Dawis. I am Jill Maria Terro. I am the I will be the one who report or continue on Maria's report atong pagka Friday. So, my topic is influence and structure of ancient poetry. So before ta mo jump ani ng topic, so ato sa kirikot gamay ang topic ni Miss Auxilio. So sa pagka-Friday, naghisgot gihapon ta og mga ancient poetry, mga structure ato. So, ang ako is sumpay ra ni siya. First is cross-cultural and Asian influences. It highlights a deep regional affinity between early Filipino verse forms and those of neighboring Asian nations, indicating a shared heritage in blood, history, and literary concepts. So, when we look at ancient Philippine literature, wala rata naglangkaw sa mga isolated tribal song. When we say isolated tribal song, ano siya ang mga katutubong awit. So, dili na nato siya kanang bag-o kay permi naman ni nato na dumong. So, we are at a vibrant of Asian culture. Before Spanish colonization, early Filipino poetry shared depth. Undeniable connection with its neighbors, specifically India and Japan, revealing a shared heritage in blood, history, and literary concepts. So, let's start with Indian. Indian influences early Filipinos decipherers shared a preference with early Indian didactic poetry for using sample stanzas like couplet to depict physical, mental situations or moral ideas. According to Dr. Trinidad S. Pardo, Dita Rivas, work El San Cristo and La Lingua Tagala, there is a significant presence of Sanskrit and Buddha Tagalog language and its poetry. Ancient Filipinos were familiar with the Sanskrit alphabet, which consisted of the 3 vowels and 12 consonants. So let's start with India. Ang mga early Filipino poets share a distinct or same preference or pamaagi sa pagsulat sa karaang writer. So writers sa India, paggamit og simple 2-line stanzas or couplets to teach moral lesson nga gitawag og didactic poetry. So, mo ni siyang mailang pamaagi sa pagsuwat na ay simple 2-line stanzas or couplets to teach moral lesson. Mo ni ang para kuan sila maka-learn. So, gitawag og ang moral lesson nila gitawag og didactic poetry. So in fact, the connection is deeply linguistic. Dr. Trinidad H. Pardo de Tavera, in his pioneering study, iyang gi-point out kung unsa ka bugat or kadako sa influensya sa Sanskrit ngadto sa Tagalog language o sa poetry. Even ang atong mga ancestor is familiar na sa word na Sanskrit alphabet. So, di ba, bisan kita kay nanani siya na to mga grade 11 siguro to? Oh yes, sa creative writing. Which featured a structure system of 3 vowels and 12 consonants. So, haybaw na ta kung unsaan 3 vowels of 12 consonants. So, Japanese influence. The use of 3 lines poems with a 5, 7, 8 syllable structures to convey emotions and human experience mirrors Japanese poetic traditions. The text credits the ancient Japanese decipherers Baho with evolving this form known as hako or haiku. Next is broader regional connections. Early Filipino verse patterns also show close ties to the literary tradition of China, Indonesia, Burma, Myanmar, and Thailand. So, moving north to Japan, we find another fascinating parallel. Early Filipinos gigamit ang three lines. Poetic form with a strict structure of 5, 7, and 8 syllables para ma-express ang ilang tinud-anay ug lalong nga ginbate. So, familiar siya paminawon because and heavily mirrors the Japanese haku or haiku and also nakabangga na taani nga mga word. Makaning haiku pagka high school, di ba? So, kung kinsa ang naay subject pagka grade 11 creative writing, familiar na ni siya. And this evolved because of the famous ancient poet Basho. Kini nga mga structural similarities alongside ties to China, Indonesia, Burma, and Thailand nga nag-remind kanato kung unsa ka interkonektado ang atong mga early literary traditions. Sadly, much of this ancient poetry was lost to time. So, in 1604, isa ka Spanish chronicle nga si Pedro Chireno nagsuwat og nindot nga Filipino poems. So, detailing graphic effect themes ang pagbuhat sa kalibutan, agret, dalag, and paradise. Unfortunately, walay bisag usa sa mga original verse of this grand epics nga nasalba at its poetic form. Karon kaybaw na ta nga naa di ay nga ato nga ni excess. So because of the prose translation and summarized written down by early Spanish commentators, so nakahibaw na ta nga naa di ang ato nga ni excess. So let's move to number 2, lost verse forms and early chronicles. Despite being limited in range and extent compared to modern literature, ancient Filipino poetry was highly expressive of archipelago's formative cultures. Two primary short forms genres stand out. So, the observation of Chirino, 1604 and 6. So, in the 1604, Pedro Chirino documented early Filipino verse dealing with grand temptations as a creation of the world, the dialogue, and paradise. So, loss of oral traditions, no original poetic verse forms addressing these topics have survived the modern era. Today, only proposed version recorded by early Spanish chronicle and commentators remain. So, but what did survive? The short, punchy, and highly practical forms, namely riddles and maxims. So, ang mga bugtong o riddles kay dili lamang isa ka walay hinungdan nga dula, di ba? Sa ato ang hunahuna kay ang riddles is kanang wala funny pang kuan lang pangpawala sa kalaay nga na. So, kung dili kini maoy usa sa mga haligi sa ato ang social life. They are energetically performed at weddings, feasts, baptism, and even mornings, and remarkably, naaghapon ang mga riddles sa Philippine culture up until today. 3. Characters of early poetic forms. So, riddles. Social role. Riddles were immensely popular and deeply integrated into a daily and ceremonial life. Commonly featured at weddings, feasts, baptism, and mournings, they continue to survive today. So, structure. They are predominantly written in rhyme, couplets, 2 lines of varying syllables counts, though some are executed as quatrains or 4 lines. Each couplet is structurally complete on its own, successfully painting a vivid mental picture. So, method. The line length varies depending on the concept being expressed, frequently utilizing lines of 4, 6, or 8 syllables. Structurally, kani nga mga riddles kay nindot despite sa ilang kasimple, kasagaran ang mga riddles kay ginasuwat as rhyme, couplets, 2 lines, though ang uban is structured as 4 lines or quatrains. So, ang katason sa linya is nagdepende sa thought or idea, usually measuring 4, 6, or 8 syllables. But regardless of the length, the magic of the Filipino riddles that the couplet is completely self-content means everything its need is already inside. So let's move to maxims. Muna siya ang pinakalas. Structures and styles described as close kin to the riddles and verse. Maxims are defined as epigrammatic verse, concise, clever, and pointed statements that are usually written in couplets to deliver moral and practical truths. So, maxims closely related to the riddle. So, unsa daw? Closely related to the riddle. Think of maxim as pocket-sized wisdom. So, huna-huna ang maxim is kanang usara siya kagamyon sa pitaka. But, like, gamay siya pero puno siya og lesson nga makuha. So, kana bitang pagamay-gamay lang pero daghan tag makuha nga lessons. They are epigrammatic verses meaning brief, clever, and sharp. Ang kaparehas sa riddles, they were almost. So, always written in couplets, their main job was to deliver a quick moral or practical truths to guide daily life. Ancient Filipino poetry may have limited in its physical length and range compared to the massive effects of other empires. However, in its brevity or kagamyon or kamubo, it was incredibly powerful. Through its clever or malikhaing butong, sharp maxims, and a deep Asian throats of remains a beautifully expressive or action himo kanang salamin bitaw ingana, and to a formative culture of the Philippines. That's all. Thank you.